Cheers, Paula. It's good to have our names set out correctly. But yeah, you're right. It is a question of whether we'll be seeing Vertigo or no. It is a question whether Big are able to recover from what was that previous map. And it also is a question on who is prepared most on who, because yeah, sample sizes on both are looking to very, very small. But a brand new frontier, a brand new map. What are your thoughts, Jay?
Fnatic 2-0. I mean, Big looked really dire on that first map, and to know that that was their home turf, they wanted to play Nuke, they got what they asked for, quite heavily so. And yes, there is always that caveat point, that one trump card against Fnatic is that we don't really know what their Overpass looks like. So it really could be up in the air. We could be seeing a third map, but honestly, I have to take a look at what we've seen so far, and what we've seen so far has been Fnatic playing their best game and Big playing their worst.
Yeah, jumping right into it, Fnatic versus Big on the T... Well, Fnatic on the T side, Big on the CT side. Assistant, very, very aggressive from the start. It's Crimbo to find the first shot onto Nicolos, though, as he does double up with Sisson. But Fnatic look to switch up the pace and move towards this B side. Quick rotation through Connector, but it's Faven close by in contention. First bullet to the head of Forest will take him out of contention, but Faven is still alive and able to find shots. Bomb looking to get planted, but they're still wrapping around to make sure they take down their contesting CTs. Roy is getting a triple out of that one, and Big are trailing massively. Mezzi takes a look at the back line, finds Searson and says, no to that, you're not entering the site today.
Wow, to think the two bottom fraggers of Fnatic in that last map have suddenly turned up to be the two players that get control here in the pistol when everybody combines to get Crimbo right there. Bullet hell against the man as Big. Oh, they will lose out on the pistol basis. A hell of a start for Fnatic there.
Yeah, really good start. 1-0 now. Dweg did mention on the desk they were 2 for 2 for the pistols, 2 for 2 with a follow-up. Let's see if that's the case on this particular second round.
Oh, they got the first one. So that's 3 for 3 in terms of the series overall. Brilliant stuff for the Fnatic side once again, and Roy, that sequence was just monstrous. If they continue picking up plays like that, and again, that's one of the lower guys, right? Roy came second to last when it comes to Fnatic's overall board, which, to their credit, they all had some pretty insane numbers, but just to let that sort of take pace to what else we could be seeing from their stars, like, it's a good start for them.
How Big sort of getting themselves back in. Mezzi. Strong Crims as well. They're getting it done. Ignore the top right of the corner. It is Fnatic on the T side, not Big. And it's 2-0 very quick. I mean, you could see the contestation coming in very quickly from the Big side, but yeah, it didn't quite work out for them.
Yeah, again, it's pistol basis. We talked about that quite a lot over the course of that last map. It's just a formality at that one. Just get it over the line, just go towards the gun rounds, which will be coming in right now for the Big side. You can see the M4s out, the FAMASs, the Scout also in for Searson. So we have guns, again, a little bit limited, but same could also be said for the Fnatic side. So it's not like it's a foolproof sort of buyout for both sides.
Still, could be one there where impactful damage could be found. Searson aggressing, Scout in hand. You'll be looking forward to the days where he's got an AWP as they're looking to fall into it. Fnatic, though, sort of taking control mostly closer to this B site corner. Faven making sure short is covered out, but fairly default for the right side of this map. Big have covered quite a lot of ground towards the left side extremities, kind of have that covered. By process of elimination, we may be seeing some movement, but it's Faven with first blood, and Big are going to let that quickly traded. They're looking to contest fairly quickly. Flash comes through from Crimbo, and it is massive. Faven comes away with 3, and instantly, Nicolos is called up to the plate. Up against 3 himself, only finds 1 before he falls. Big now in the game.
That's Faven with the ace. All right, there you go. All sorts of step-ups from individuals across the board here. Wonderful play from him and a wonderful round to get Big into the game. Fnatic, it was a bit of a bonus, so they can get the guns back out here for this one. Not a lot of damage being done on that bonus overall, though. So in terms of overall ramifications, what they could have gotten out of the round, it's going to be minimal. But at least Big have a much earlier start here. Can they follow it up? That's the one thing they struggled to do in the first half of Nuke.
The buy will continue. Again, there's Fnatic on the T side and Big on CT. Tabson fairly far forward, falls into the safety of the smoke, but Crims finds a gap onto that B end angle. As soon as Crimbo makes an appearance, he loses his life. Faven going on a little bit of a walk here, and he's taking advantage of the smoke to find a creepy angle to nestle himself into. Oh, this could be fairly interesting. Fnatic looking to move in here. Tizian also for the assist. Forest needs to be careful that connector position.
It's slow as usual.
Will Crims check the snip angle, though? He does. Favan ends up falling. Good idea, but the execution wasn't there.
It's another two-man advantage for Fnatic, slowly but surely picking them apart. tabseN also following suit onto Roy. Is at least one good trade. Bagster also turned for the Fnatic side. So they're starting to get big back into this one. A 3-on-3 scenario, but Tizian stands alone on B.
Yeah, they know exactly what Tizian is, which means they can play around it. Forest nearly loses his life on that one, but barely scrambles to stay alive. 10 points of health and does get the job done. 35 seconds is where the bomb does get planted. And Fnatic do have the advantage to hold it down on this side. syrsoN, he himself only's got 1 point of health, but does end up falling. Nikodas and Forest, though, are the two of Fnatic left. And up against tabseN, it's going to be a difficult one. Spread out, two different corridors. Nikodas taking the fight, and that could be the wrong decision. Now it's tabseN all by himself. Bomb touched. Forest not falling for the bait. Switchery from tabseN, looking to see if it is from Monster. Oh, the turnaround is there! And tabseN has a kit there for the defuse. Should be able to be committed to a mistake by Fnatic, and it's punished from tabseN.
Forest dejected look on his face as a result of that one. Bit too close to call, had to swing at some point, wasn't certain if he was sticking that diffuser. You don't really have the information to know about that until you actually go for the peak. And Forest being at such low HP, he played it to perfection right up until the end. So it was a case of really unlucky timing, because even then the CT player got back out to Monster. So caught off guard in terms of timing, in terms of positioning, in terms of the shot. Again, it's a round for the big side to go to evens at 2-all. Fnatic as well. Money broken down for the Mac-10s in on 4 players. Automatics, which might just rush out to the B side. Ooh. And they'll get mowed down instantly.
Nades, hot lead, all thrown at Fnatic there. Big look to staple themselves ahead at this point and find a lead over Fnatic, who have completely crushed their dreams over a nuke and brought out a nuclear performance against them. But now it seems that pace has switched. Big now with better weaponry and utility falling in their hands. They're looking to switch up that case scenario and put it back in their favor.
Yeah, two-man advantage for Big. Fnatic getting no real chance to get back in control of this. Might play the range game on Nikodas' part with his Deagle especially. Maybe see someone on the short control, maybe catch a headshot, but no one's going to challenge him here for Big. So Fnatic just left to their own devices. It's a passive line in general from the CT side. Just look at how deep they are on the bomb sites.
Yeah, Big also very, very safe position for them. Fnatic will have to bring out a miracle at this point. I mean, Big keeping the distances long, what you expect. syrsoN with a jump, yet to scout out. But now with a side swing. No, that's Nikodas. Now he knows, gives the call. You can see the wraparound from Big, very decisive. Making sure they're not taking any risks at this point. syrsoN, it's a matter of time until they fall into his crosshair. Nikodas is able to find one, but if syrsoN is in charge of the site, there is nowhere you can run, nowhere you can hide. It's Fnatic, it's Big to find the lead.
Yeah, eventually turning it over there. Fnatic got the start, Big, find the responsive, and that's again what I was talking about earlier, the follow-up and the follow-up off the back of that. So, easy stuff. Of course, it was Mac-10s, it was a lot of limited firepower, limited investment. Still have those guns in, and it won't lead to a definitive buy here for the 6th round of the game. Pistols, nades up. Looks to be the nade stack set up here for Fnatic. Yep, out towards that boost spot position, hoping that, I believe, Favan might give the jump face up towards them. No boost in play in particular. Crimbo charging down towards T-Con. Nades, timed so well as Favan was at the peak jump. That's a great kill.
Well, that's one way to put Fnatic on top in this round. You don't have the weaponry, you might as well line up some utility to get that kill, but Crimbo is pushed up very, very far here on the CT side. Big are going to use him, but he's just made some steps. And Rory will turn around, but he won't in time. But he's given the call to his team, which is the important part. Now Fnatic are wary of this. Roy trying to make his way around it. syrsoN has handed the call to his own teammate, Crimbo. Seems they didn't actually know that it was him hiding out there, but it's still a simple trade down to a 3-on-3. syrsoN will have his crosshair ready. Roy had no chance in that endeavor, and you wanted to catch a weapon from the fallen player of Big. It's just an MP9, mate. Not going to do anything up against the long distance of the rifles.
Still a 3-on-2 advantage for Big, though. I mean, Fnatic aren't that far away from equalizing the situation, and those hand cannon shots from Nikodas have been fantastic. The Deagles could still prove to be useful. Even Mezzy still got it out. Recognizing again that range game is better with the pistol in play. Worked their way into connector as Big also worked their way up. Look at Tizian there, pushed all the way in towards T-spawn, so he'll have some info to play with.
So much vital information, right? But at the same time, they've left connector uncovered, which is where Fnatic can kind of use this positioning prowess to get forwards. Oh, but they've been spotted. Tizian will give the call, and instantly Big are reacting to this sis and starting to rotate together with the rest. And now Tizian, he's got the perfect angle to play the backside shot. HE grenade for a pot shot. It's Big to double up that advantage.
Most perfect synchronized swimming in the world. Literally both sides of the CT forces coming in, converging at the right moment, getting the kills appropriate. And it's both individuals. When they thought they were safe as well, right? They thought they had found the counteraction. They thought that they had found the gap in the fence. Little did they know there was a sneaky boy. And that snuck his way straight into the round. And Big look much more confident in themselves right now here, both on the server and, of course, in the booths. Have their lineup, they have their position, and they definitely do look better than what they did over on Nuke already.
Big, very animated, aren't they?
Right there, so I'm going to assume they're doing a good job.
Yeah. They are.
I don't know my German per se, but I'm going to take some guesses.
The kind of VP is the furthest my German goes. Couldn't make out any of that one, but I could say the pressure is on. They knew they kind of made a few mistakes. They got that a little bit too... I mean, they lost a couple of players in that instance, right? It wasn't the cleanest win up against the Pistols, so I guess there is some pressure to be put onto the big boys. Fnatic, though, now with better weaponry, are here to contest. Big, very aggressive. Look at the push coming in from Party and Upper Garden as well, Sis. And here with the AWP and maybe contentions of the Kodos. Oh, Roy just pushes right past it, and Sisson to find the shot in the nick of time. Only 9 points of health available, but has a smoke to find his clearance out of that one. Crimbo has now showed his ground. Nikoda's in so much trouble, and he ends up falling as well. What a way to start things off here for Big. Forest wanting to challenge it, but is it too late?
I can't believe they played it like that. The wombo combo of those two individuals, and to think the AWP was scoped in, tunnel visioned. Now it's Crim's chance to strike back on the B side. He might walk into a crossfire himself.
Oh, that's one kill, and might be the second, but Favan says a big no to that, holds up a stop sign, and Cribbs just walks directly into it, smashes his head, and now we're down to a 2-on-3. Fnatic trying to uncover where the Big are still taking up these far out extremities, and this is going to cost them so much time.
They've only got so much to play with. Fnatic had problems with the timeout over on that Nuke performance. The T-side still was good enough. Is this round going to be good enough? Only tabseN to find on this A side. They'll walk towards it. It'll be Forest that leads that charge. Vladimezi, bomb on his back. Forest seen, and tabseN, that's an all-important kill.
And that kind of puts the nail in the coffin, really, for Mezzi. And Fnatic, unless Mezzi's able to bring out a round of brilliance. Heading towards the site, it's cleared out. tabseN giving the respect. He knows that the next fight has to be an overwhelming numbers advantage for them fight. Molly, and it's perfect. No time to plot now. Mezzi in trouble. tabseN was never out of control of that situation. Always aware, always knowing, and will be making sure that Big come out victorious on that one.
Yeah, he knew the only place he couldn't cover was that default plant. So put the incendiary down, win the round, especially with 5 seconds to go. There's no way you stick the bomb plant at that particular period. It doesn't even look that fast from Sears in that shot. That was the most impressive one of that round to me. And the fact he just slowly glided his mouse over to the shot itself. It's like, okay, it's casual, don't worry about it. A big whiff though from the T-side player. That might have actually cost Fnatic.
Yeah, it puts them down to no in regards of buy-up power. Mezzi was able to recover that AK by the end of it, already taking damage from the nades thrown at them from Big. But this time, moving in as a ball of death. Creeping, crawling throughout smokes and trying to uncover their way in. Talk about creepy crawlers. Forest all by himself, but it seems sysN will be holding down the line. Scratch that. Seems to switch out, fall back a bit. Fnatic, though, yeah, looking to move in together now towards Upper Garden, but Big seem to have a lot of players there lying in wait.
tabseN will be the first port of call. It's sysN right behind him with the AWP. Might even be the first player to spot on as tabseN swings, and he actually will get the kill on Nikodos.
Oh, no flash coming out from Big, but it's not needed. When tabseN has got the firepower at the ready, able to deal the damage. sysN, though, knows that they're willing to take the fight. Forest, gets it. And now with a gun recovered, this could be doable. M4, 2 guns recovered. Oh, this could get dangerous unless you check out that corner. Tizian able to stabilize the situation for Big. And now Fnatic still need to require to put their faith into one play up against 3, similar to what was the previous round. but it's only Roy to do it, and a little bit too far out of his depth. Bomb out the middle of the garden. And it seems that he's given the respect across forwards, making a lot of noise. Crimbo will be turned around in time. The youngster will make sure his opponent is dead, and Big keep on taking charge of this and extending that advantage.
Yeah, lock it down. Get control of the round. Easy domination. Not really much that they could do there for Fnatic towards the end, especially that 1-on-3 was a clutch we haven't seen one so far. So attempts will be a bit more frivolous when the guns come back out. Still hearing a couple
I heard amazing in there.
Yeah,
you know?
I was about to say, I heard at least a little bit of praise. But Gob definitely getting in there to discuss with his teammates. Again, the newest addition, kind of, to the big roster. Added kind of during the RMR, but not quite during the RMR. Unofficially in the RMR. And worked with them throughout the major to, of course, do what they did at that tournament and at Dallas.
I love seeing the confidence from Big this time around, though.
Yeah.
They seem to be elevated from their performance in Nuke. There, they looked a bit shaky, but here it seems a little bit more fluid by them.
They've definitely figured out what was wrong. Whether they can carry that forward into the rest of the CT side. Fnatic, however, instead, when they get the guns out, they can strike, but it's Searson to strike first. Roy immediately down. The rest of Fnatic giving chase. Captain's in trouble. He doesn't deal with it. Forest equalizes the standings.
Well, Fabian might be going a little bit too deep here. Out onto the smoke, he's able to catch out Crims first. Forest knows his opponent and is close by, but chooses not to take that fight. That nade is landing directly at his feet. That has got to hurt, and now Fnatic again in trouble. This was their buy round, remember? And being shut down so quickly with Searson's aggression, with the simple trade towards Connector, still keeps Big on top. Fabian's smart to pull the trigger against the smoke at that particular moment. We'll make sure that Big are even further elevated. And just looking down at Fnatic, trying to say, what do you do here, kids? What do you do here? We've got full control.
As they have had for the last number of rounds, it feels like. Decimation on their own part. Fnatic left in this position way too many times for my money. Nico Semezi will try fight back, but you can imagine it's probably just going to be a case that they walk into the site and get picked apart. Again, they are spread out for Big, so in theory there's a world in which they get this 2-for-0 trade against Crimbo and Tizzy and then bring it back to an even standing, but the angle's locked, he peeks ahead of the smoke, and that's Nico Odo's now done.
Yeah, that's his smoke. He knew exactly where the gap was and knew exactly how to play around it. Fnatic fell victims to it, so just a simple 1-2 then. It just came to work out for them. Nikoda's knowing that AWP needs to be safe, starts to backtrack away. Maybe go to playground, just sit on one of those swings and calm down a bit, because they're going to want to calm down after that one, trying to figure out how they solve this big CT side.
A big CT side that has found themselves up to 7-2 now. You're right, how do you solve this is the question that's on the minds of Fnatic. In the same way that Big had a lot of discussions internally throughout the course of their tactical timeouts. I haven't seen much from Fnatic as of right now. Big had a lot more prominence to their credit. But there needs to be some adjustments.
Those were just 2 shots. I thought it was a spray down from Fabian to get that, but I was like, tap, tap.
If it works, it works.
If it works, it works.
This won't work for Fnatic though. Deagle's in play.
Yeah. We've seen Deagles being dangerous before, but I don't think we've seen that from Fnatic today. Big, with all utility that they have, will definitely put pressure towards them. tabseN, very aggressive. Look at that movement from him. Oh, this could also be a bait from Fnatic. I see a player sort of lingering behind. It's Roy being aware of it, but all the information gathered by Big, all the information gathered by tabseN has just placed the rest of the team towards this B site. Very confident this is going to be a B hit.
They walk forward. Slowly but surely. Nico Odos be the first man up, and he's against this, and the Orc battle could decide the opener.
Nikodas needs this. Oh, but Crims walks in first. Nikoda's able to find the cross shot, but do they know this is taken by so many players? Doesn't need the rest of the players if Searson is there to stop this barrage of players looking to move in. Here's a little bit of a boost, though. What can this uncover? It seems that Tizian is looking at it. Shots flying at him. Nikodas, what a shot! The only weapon in Fnatic, and it makes it work. But still, there's a lot more to do. And Searson has got his cross at the right placement. Nikoda's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and that's the AWP out of the hands of the Fnatic players. Smoke to guarantee their advantage. Bomb to be collected. from the Forest side, but he's a little bit too far to the step, but makes that deagle work, and all of a sudden this is doable, but they need to be careful. The back line, tabseN is there, looking to connect the shot. Roy can't get it, and Big continue with their supremacy.
To think Nikomoto landed that shot and still fell victim to the AWP of the CT side. citizen deserves a lot of credit for that one. Well played, very well played from him. But another very manic kind of round coming out for Fnatic. They're playing from the back foot constantly, desperate to get some sort of control. And they just don't quite make it happen here. And I wonder what's going to be that breaking play. I wonder what's going to be that one that ends this round streak for Big.
What is it going to be? Fnatic quite a bit quiet right now when it...
The discussions are going down at least.
Yeah, they are.
Here, Kita.
Not as high energy as Big is. I know one of the players kind of talked about how Heroic had a choice of coming into this one. Did they want to be loud or did they want to be a little bit more composed? For Heroic, at least, they said, we want to be loud. The players wanted to be loud.
I do feel like that for Fnatic, it's kind of a bit more of a case that in terms of mentality, obviously, not only are they down in terms of the scoreline, but also you've got to think about the long term of this roster. I don't think Fnatic came to this tournament thinking, we're going to win the trophy. Like they, as they said in the interview, in the pre-match package, they were saying, look, if we do great, we do great. If not, well, let's focus on the future. And I think right now, if that is that latter point, we're not doing great, so let's focus on the future. Let's get some intense discussions of how we're not going to turn around this matchup or turn around the tournament if we do lose out this matchup. Right now, they are in that latter category, 6 rounds down, and they have their weapons to work.
Oh, Forest, that's a well-placed molly, and he's paying attention to the right end, but there's just so many players from Big here. Crim's trading it. Max away from that fight. The rest of Fnatic now moving in towards the laboratory area. citizen smoked off, and that gives space for Fnatic to move in, but they need to pay attention to Connector. Beautiful sequence. Flash from Faven enables that push and puts Big again in front in numbers, and they're going in for more. This time unassisted. tabseN not quite seeing the player on party. Nikodo's not lining a shot, though, means that Fnatic missed an opportunity to find their way back in.
citizen might challenge him directly here. How far does he extend in this bathroom's position?
Oh, this is so close. There's so much pressure on this position. citizen so close to this. Nikodo's hadn't had a chance in that. Crim's, thankfully, Fnatic is able to trade it through. Rory, the only player alive now, and with only 30 seconds to work with. Good note. He's got the bomb, and he can do with it as he pleases.
But tabseN's working his way down the underpass, though. Roy's missed the window that he could rotate to the beat. He's going to charge in.
No way.
He's a dead man.
He is. Doesn't check the right sand corner, at least not deep enough, and tabseN puts a bullet to the back of his head, and that is the round for Big.
A 9th in a row for Big as well. Real solid stuff, and it's going to get another tactical timeout for Fnatic here. What is going on, boys? From such confidence as well over on Nuke, right? And again, I will emphasize, Fnatic's pick down this margin. Big's pick down a similar margin at one point or another, I must imagine. Beautiful stuff being played by the Germans. And again, you have to wonder, when is this streak going to end?
It's been going on for 9 rounds consecutively. Fnatic will try and scramble up a bite. Utility-wise, fairly decent, but not one that can extend them to the latter stages of this round, heavily contested by Big here. This is all about the utility game here from Big, and the fact that they were able to play aggressive in moments just catches out Fnatic. A little bit lost, trying to work out this communication. Understandable, have exceeded expectations so far, but they've set the bar high. Now up in the map scoreline, but I'm sure they want to close this out sooner rather than later.
Keep the one-sided scoreline going for Big. Focus up. Yeah, Fnatic. Lesser weapons involved, but still guns that they can play with up against the AKs and tabseN, which they will drive back. Great calls rather than taking the initial engagements. I mean, it's very likely they lose them. They've been losing the opening frags a lot over the course of this one. So do the damage and get map control.
There are certain set pieces that Roy and Nikodos have brought in together as a duo. And that was one of them, right? Throw on the molly, try and push forwards. Roy just trying to grab that space. tabseN here going on a stroll. Roy's some sort of wary of it, but it's all down to timing. Oh dear, that's the swing, and Roy's never going to miss that opportunity to put Fnatic on top. Is this where it all changes? Oh, they're so close to the smoke. This is going to be a contact angle. The smoke dissipates, and Fnatic are within it. Surprise, they shout as they take down the defenders. It's only Crimbo now, the young gun. Looking to see the star of Germany. Can he hold it down? It's just a singular trade, and that puts Searson on the hot seat.
Yeah, Searson's got no chance of this. The AWP just locked out towards heaven. Actually, the nade on Crims? No, not good enough. Had he got that kill and he denied that plant, I would have given him at least a little bit of credit. The shoulder baits to land this one good shot. That's about as far as I think he'll look to go. He does get Nico Rodos. Okay, 2 more AKs to find.
1 out of 3. Not worried about the money, but Roy is there to put Fnatic back on top. The 9-round winning streak from Big is now over.
At last, by the way. It's taken a very long time to get here, but here we are regardless. Boosting the round overall, but a struggle regardless for the Fnatic boys. They took a beating over the course of this map so far, but finally finding the positional plays and the advantages they need. Get control back and break that 9-round streak. And just as soon as they break it, Big are back in with the guns, limited by Crimbo's buy. Same thing for Forest with the Galils. Still got all the automatics they need, still got all the weapons they require. It's the early nades on Nico Rodos and Father to start.
Crim's fairly aggressive here. Ooh. Could have spotted out Faven there and shut him down, but a little bit too late to that fight. Want to make sure Connect is cleared out first. Fairly open start for Fnatic here, trying to see if Big are going for anything too aggressive. They've done that multiple times here, but this is not one of them.
Oh, so ready for that kill. Searson landing onto Crims. He waited patiently for his moment to strike. He picked that point. Will get his kill fall immediately back. That's what the AWP should be doing. Man advantage for Big. This time Fnatic gain the map control, but they lose a player and damage for it.
Yeah, and you say map control. I mean, now they're going to have to throw down smoke to put Roy in an even deeper position. Searson does have the assistance of taps into the right-hand side. Flashed over, blind as a bat. Nikodos now down. Tapson even going for more. He's unstoppable. Searson onto the other end. Big, this is a massive sequence of kills that is just falling in their favor. Fnatic have no response, no retaliation. And this is clearly an avenue for Big to gain those double digits quickly.
Yeah, they just won every single fight. They just took every engagement, and Fnatic just couldn't find a single trade throughout that round. All 5 alive, double AWP save. Can even see the SMG going up to AKs, the M4s going up to AKs as well. So much pressure that Fnatic couldn't deal with there in that round. And that's disappointing as well, because we just saw them break the streak. Finally, okay, this is the start of things. Oh no, we just lost 5 kills in the trial.
Oh. Yeah, for Fnatic, it's looking a little bit rough here. The money situation also will definitely allow Big to get even further. I mean, we've seen this on multiple occasions. CT side is quite the one you want to get started on. And it really dictates the pace of the game and how this one will end up going. Faven close by, spray down across. Crims with a bullet to the head of Faven. That's a good start. Now the rifle can also be picked up. It's right by their feet.
Yeah, 1 AK for the man. 1 AK for the team. Big. I've not been expecting that. Forest might challenge directly here, but he is going to fall back in the end. The smoke down towards Monster will give them the cover they need to retreat, because that bomb's meanwhile made its way up towards mid, and the Deagles will try strike on Searson. If they get the headshot as he jump faces, that'd be fantastic, but it is a very difficult one to hit.
Brit and Dane hand in hand now towards this ace site. Mezzi and Roy, Nikodos, doubling up the Danes in the scene. Oh, okay. Searson misses out the first opportunity to snatch off a kill and has to back away, has to respect the movement from Fnatic. Crimbo out to the open. Oh, he gets it. Searson onto the other side, keeping trading. Bomb out into the open. Tapson moves up. Once more, Forest puts him to his grave. Silences another. Sizz onto the other end, though. Will be able to bring it down to a closer one-on-one. Does draw out the P250. Crims also with a pistol in hand. This is a fight of the pistols. Jump on top. That's the head nose where he is. Searson just playing out with fire. Finds the shot eventually and puts Big in charge. Now that was close.
Bit too close, if I'm being honest there for Big. Once again, Fnatic have done the damage, but they have extended their round lead above them, and that is the big thing they're focused on, pun intended. Still God B wants to have a conversation. Still
That's always low-hanging fruit, isn't it? You know, when you say something... You always say it.
Dwake's had a moan at me for saying big too many times when I cast big, so I'm just going to fit it as many big times as I big can. So, There you go.
You have to start thinking about synonyms because big is something that you use often, is a word that you use often.
Yeah.
So massive, large,
massive.
Tremendous.
Tremendous isn't a size.
No, but when you bigly, tremendously, I mean, you could use it in similar instances, you know.
Maybe, I don't know. Either way, it's Big the team with a lead that eclipses anything that Fnatic can muster so far in this map. AK is AWP. The M4's out for the CT side, accounting for the 4-man boost, which we haven't seen so far here on this Overpass.
No.
I don't think we will here for Fnatic at least. Big might bring it out, it might be something that they have in their playbook, but to think the mirror image half could be on for them on the opposing map pick.
The fact that they're respecting Fnatic to that extent is really good, but that's one piece of respect they didn't hand. Forest very quick to cross through towards Connector, opening things up for Fnatic. And now they may even want to move towards this A site. Crimbo locked it out of it, smoked, flashed over. But Fnatic, they themselves haven't pulled the trigger on the attack. They've actually stepped back a bit, and Big have crossed so many players towards A. This is a bait and switch, and it seems that Big are falling for it.
Well, that one man held back there, which could be the rotation call for Tizian. But I highly doubt, even if all 3 players went to stack the site, that they were able to hold off against Fnatic. It comes down to the individuals and what mistakes they can punish on the T-side line here. They're stacked up, hiding themselves away from common positions. Crimbo might aggress very far forward to this. He's keeping his eyes on Long, and he'll be the only player because Tizian has abandoned him.
Big can't play the trade game. They have to go for risks, and Crimbo's trying to do that. The star of the team. Oh! And as a star does, puts Big back in contention. Now is full in control of that back garden area. And now with the bomb going down here for Fnatic, this is where they need to find themselves these good positions. Need to be wary of the back line as well. Onto the smoke, perfect flash from Crimbo, allowing Tizian to move in forward. That's the double for Tizian, and he keeps it going. Fnatic are now trailing in numbers, losing the control of the map. Roy looking to keep them on top. Roy, what a shot! And now Falvin is so down low. Looks to push even further. Roy again, a quadra for Roy. Fnatic on 4 at halftime.
Well, they needed a big player because it definitely felt like Big were going to recover that. Had the one man at Long, Crimbo able to get that kill and immediately rotated to a 2-pronged attack on the retake. I felt that was going to be enough there with the kills that came in towards the backside. But they dealt with him appropriately. And of course, Roy having a massive sequence there in the mid control. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful for him. And wonderful for Fnatic that at least avoids this 12-3. But it's not much better. 11-4 at the half, like you mentioned there, Pavlos. And I have to question again whether that's really going to be enough for Fnatic because their CD zone is up next, sure. And again, similar story when you're talking about a team that we don't know much about their map. You can assume their CT side will be the stronger one. But I don't know if this is going to be enough of a recovery. I don't know if there's going to be enough T rounds to build the basis of a comeback.
Yeah, I think we already knew that the struggle of Fnatic, this particular map, was going to be this T side, and it was going to come down to how many rounds you can actually unravel. So 4 has got to be enough for them. CT can be a little bit more comfortable for them, but look, already being creative. 3 in connector, looking for a crunch here into water. Losing their players though. Now, will they feel more confidence coming out? Messi and Nikodo's only find a kill apiece. Nikodo's looking to carry it on though. Up against 2, looks to balance it nearly. Now, walks away, knows where the bomb is heading out, knows where both of them are. Looks for a side corner, but Big peek with both players and are able to get the pistol. Their first pistol this series.
At long last. Didn't make much of a difference in the last half, to their credit. They got 9 rounds on the back of the pistol in conversions, but the fact that Fnatic have lost their main way back into this game is only going to inspire Big more. Their 12th round against the 4 of the opposing side, and no real money to buy with. Despite that, though, Fnatic are going to go with the investment. You mentioned over on Nuke how CTs often don't justify the force in the second round of the half, but Fnatic are going to commit towards this. This has to be a victory.
Whoa, what a connection from Nikodo's. Tapson already though.
At least a start for him.
Very start. Very decent start. Very start? Is that a thing? Well, it is now.
Very much.
Very much.
Much wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Eternal Chase class, teaching English to Pavlos.
English memes.
Oh, Tapson! 2 bullets, 2 kills.
Made it look easy because it was
Roy, though, has a 5-7. Fancies that. Gone! And puts Fnatic back in contention. Tiziana taps them both low. The two T's are big. May need to be wary. Galil now picked up, and this could be damaging. Crimbo looking to stabilize, though. He's the one that needs to come alive for his team, and it looks like he'll be able to. CZ to do it, and it's Crims to be in charge of it. Incendiary towards Strike, but Crimbo just walks past it. Doesn't need to contest with it. Finds another corner to contest it with, and Big clean it up. 13-4, and look on the verge to closing out this map.
Yeah, had Roy got that third kill, I feel like that probably could have been where you see the return come in from the CT side. I felt like had Fnatic put a lot of emphasis on that 5-7, had he been able to get that final frag, that would have been the potential round winner right there. Because like you mentioned, it was all on Crimbo. He was the only player with more than like 20 points of health or so. So that's just not a good like HP bar line for Big at all. And they're lucky the Fnatic went towards him and put their emphasis on that man because he came up big.
Ooh. Max 10 in hand here for Tizian. Tizian also from the back end. It's going to be a complete mow down here. Fnatic don't stand a chance. Yeah, Crims. He thought they were coming in from in front, but no.
It's an eco round at the end of the day. Like, what else could you really expect? I mean, I probably could have continued my colour point and no one would have batted an eye, if we're being honest. No. Overwhelming, decimation, Forest 1 versus 5. And there's no way he does anything here. He might even feed himself to the Mac 10 for a little bit extra cash on the part of Searson. He's seen him now. Both ways in this particular case, and there's the headshot easy. 14-4, 10 rounds to make up for Fnatic. Not quite map point for Big just yet, but they're 1 round away from doing so. The guns will be out for Fnatic in this one. And what a statement it would be for Big if they were not only to win the Fnatic pick, but also to do it in an even more one-sided fashion than it was over on Nuke.
Yeah, it would be quite a statement piece and would definitely bring back the confidence for Big, really. But the viewers can't see this right now, but the studio starting, the arena starting to look grand. It's being built in front of us before our eyes, and these two teams are battling for a chance to play at that. But I need to quickly premise, you guys, in Copenhagen, Lund, Malmo, anywhere close by in these areas, come by tomorrow and the day after. Great action. And one of these teams, maybe both of them, may be competing in it. Oh!
Roy definitely wants to compete in it, carrying on from his individual prowess. And for Fnatic, what a day it would be, what a week it would be for them to come to their first LAN and get to the stage. I mean, it was already a great opening day for them to beat out Heroic. The best of 3 against Big, however, proving to be a bit more of a harder task so far. They've at least got that opener, and Big is to press for it. They're going to go super passive, gain virtually no map control. They're only just starting to prod at the mid stairs now.
Big, you can tell they're a little bit scared to move across a little bit. Fnatic gaining the space early, but now relinquishing that pressure. Forest with some damage to be found onto Crimbo. Looking to hinder the confidence there. Roy finds a side angle to work with as well. Everything's starting to fall into place here for Fnatic, not taking any damage and still with 2 kills. That nade could change that fact. But just that slither of health taken from Roy and Forest both. Crims keeps it going. This is looking a lot more solid for Fnatic. Big moving in 1 by 1, not quite working out for them. The fact they've already just lost so many at the start.
You know, this is the most solid round that we've seen from Fnatic for the entire series, right? They've taken 1 point of damage, not lost a single player. Big have been overwhelmed. Getting a bit of a taste of their own medicine, I feel like, considering what they did on their CT side. Well, that's the first for Fnatic to get back into the comeback. Again, very early in the comeback, so it's not clear whether or not it will come together, because as something you mentioned during the last map, 1 mistake and that's it. 1 mistake and it's going to be map point for Big. Look towards that 3rd, and maybe we couldn't get the wish of the analyst desk. Unfortunately, not the wish of Golden. He did say it was going to be a 2-0, but
he said it's a 2-0. It doesn't matter what team it is.
Well, it won't be a 2-0 if Big take this map.
It won't.
That's the key thing here. And Fnatic will have to play just that little bit longer to play out on the likes of Vertigo in this one. And, well, that one becomes very, very topsy-turvy.
It can be, right? The ramp simulator, like I like to call it.
Not a fan, I guess.
Yeah. Some teams love that map.
Because they like playing ramp regularly.
They like ramps. As a kid, they like just taking their bicycles and just rolling down them. Anyway.
Hills.
Yeah. As long as they're going down them, going up them is a different story.
Yeah. This went some very weird directions, this conversation.
Yeah, it has. It has taken quite a swing. Talking about swings, though, Big are going to be crossing now towards Upper Park. Now, Fnatic not very deep with their scouting efforts. Apart from Roy, he's actually moved up very far in Connector.
I find a backstab for it. No one for Fnatic has accounted for this. No one's watching the backstab. Maybe Tizian might turn his head, but Roy's made his way all the way up, and they've made very little progress, so it's all on him, really, just to press the issue. You can see the other CTs as well towards mid, hiding back in Connector, hiding back out towards the A site, and just allowing Roy to creep closer and closer.
No.
How many will he get?
And Roy will be causing the pressure for Forest, also coming from Connect, and that is perfect. Roy does it very well. And now there's no way they expect a second player. Nikolas holds down the line as well. Mezzi starts falling, so Big are starting to find answers to this, but they need to focus their efforts on one end. Forest surprises them as well, overwhelming them. A simple crunch for Fnatic to take down Big.
Much better. Far better. And we've been looking for this style of play at long last. Now back in their groove, Forest having fun. I don't know what he was doing there, some weird little dance. Like, is that a common thing in Sweden? I don't know. I shouldn't be asking you, you're not Swedish. You wouldn't know yourself.
I don't know. I've been here twice. This is the second time I'm in here.
Well, it's certainly common for Forest, right? He definitely feels like he's in the zone now. And after a round like that, he's got every right to be. But it's, again, the case of following up, right, for Fnatic. And we've seen the Tech 9s out from Big in the past. This looks to be a B-rush immediately. Might get slowed. No, it won't.
Oh, smoke drop right after it. That's the spray down for the ages here for Crims. Yeah, it's a pistol round, but it's going to be a very quick one. Tizian maybe wanting to fall into the pile of bodies that his teammates have fallen into just seconds ago.
7 on the board for Fnatic as a result. And what felt like it was going to be a worrying sign for a moment is all going to turn right for Crims. And again, he's got every reason to smile off the back of that round. A simple triple spray down. 4 kills through the smoke. He doesn't register on the kill feed. It should register his kills on the kill feed through smoke. Starting to stack up his numbers, 13 frags deep. The real star for Fnatic has been Roy, though.
What a pickup.
Pivotal elements, yeah, definitely pivotal elements for this Fnatic side to get them back into this game. Big back up on the Gonzo. Let's see whether that eco statement can transfer into the guns.
Could be the first contention to come in from Connector. Tizian battling out here with a few nades. Roy as well. It's a matter of who finds who first, but Forest finds the sign angle to work with yet again. So Big starting to drop players early. Forest a little bit too far to the step there, but Nikolas does balance it out across the other side of the map quickly, though. Fnatic do stabilize and want a pincer maneuver once again.
Yeah, Nico Others have started to really get going in the second half here. He's struggling a lot over on that T side, but with the AWP now being in his hands, he did so much work with getting the first kills against the players that engaged him first. Searson, wallbang, headshot on Mezzi. Where did that come from? Might have been towards the B side, but Crims comes back, maintains the advantage and gets the bomb.
Yeah, he finds himself a lot of space there, but the bomb means that a Big need to push forwards. They need to push towards him, and Crims knows of this. The bomb has just been picked up, but he doesn't decide to pick it. Wants his teammates to come through to play this numbers advantage.
It's a very passive sort of angle here, but you can see they've accounted for the rotating. Yes, that's what they were playing for. Nico Others might have just sealed the round.
40 seconds and does have bomb control. Not impossible, but needs to take care of his opponents first. Straight down a little bit rough. It's the USP to do it. You can see the smile from Nikolas there on the lower screen. He likes that.
I feel extremely smart now that I've just given him praise for coming back into his own. He gets a 3K in the round that he calls it. So, yeah, well done for Nico Odos. And again, very smart play from Nico Odos, right? He recognized there was potential in that wraparound play, and he just went down towards the lower dumpster angle, waited for the rotate. Decided, you know what, I'm going to defend the A site. We know they've committed towards B. If they rotate, I've got it covered. If they stick, my teammates got it covered, and I can come in. So, smart stuff. Big down to pistols as a result. Fnatic should be getting to 9 here. And suddenly, this comeback looks much doable than it was only a few rounds ago.
Yeah, it's definitely not too far out of reach right now. Still, a mountain turn into a hill. Still to go up here. Roy somehow survives with 1 point of health. At least that's good. Will opt out of any fights to make sure that AK stays within their hands. But Searson is pushed up fairly aggressively, and it's Mezzi here to deal with it all by himself. No buddy system here for Mezzi, which means he'll only have to do it with raw firepower. So they've isolated them nicely. What a shot for Nikolas to close out this round.
Second 3K in a row. Stacking up his numbers, wants to take away the onus from Roy, and I guess, and a little bit of internal competition there between the two Danes. Rightfully so. These guys have been on fire so far. Fnatic benefiting in troves from it. Can they benefit to the equalizing standing? Only 5 rounds to the difference here. The gun's back in for Big to try and re-extend that lead, get to that map point. But Fnatic, they're on a roll, and they've got plenty of cash. They can rebuy no matter what the situation is. Again, it's all a case of denying that match point as Roy tries to peek forward.
Kodos quite deep here. Will be greeting contact. Oh, it's all a matter of timing, and he gets it. Tabson ends up falling back away. Forest had a fight that he had to take on, but he does survive it and doesn't drop. Big looking to move in towards this B area, but Fnatic have got plenty in contention. Now with a bomb moving in as well, it looks like it's going to be a very fast take. Not much utility left for these players, so they have to take this opportunity now. It's never very fast push there. Forest is able to collect it. The crossfire is on point for Fnatic. Nothing you can do. Sisson pressured from the back angle as well. Roy just stamping over him.
It's all in the CT side today, it feels like. The same confidence that we saw from Big, the same coordination, the same lockdown sort of defensive that we saw from them over the course of that first half has translated perfectly over to Fnatic in the second. And this is most certainly on. How amazing would it be for Fnatic if they usurped Big and got another 16-14 victory, this time to 2-0 best of 3, and make their way to the arena?
Oh man, that would be quite a victory and a storyline to begin this roster. I mean, we've heard how positive Crims feels about this new alignment, the pressure he's been on with all these new iterations of the roster, right? All these switches, all these additions, changes happening, none of them really working. For the past couple of years, Fnatic have been absent. And for this organization with such history, this would be quite a first event for this new roster.
4 rounds to go to equalize, that is. 6 rounds and Fnatic will win it. Numbers are tantalizing, the pressure is on, but the victory is right at their fingertips. And there's only pistols to play with here for Big, so again, on paper, Fnatic should be able to deal with them. And they've dealt with these half-buys pretty well so far.
They have, but we also need to keep in mind that Big are 2 away from victory themselves, so Fnatic still on pressure. No mistakes permitted. This round may be one where they will be having a simpler frontier to enter regarding weaponry that Big have accumulated. The Crimson close contact here with Tizian with the smoke to fade out. Might be the T's to have an advantage on that one. They're starting to cross through. Tabson with the first one. Forest lost on start. He's missing out on the shots, and now that means Big have the advantage. Weapons recovered. Mezzi looking to bring it back for his team, but there's a cross angle that he hasn't taken care of. Roy under pressure, needing to find his kills. It's desperate, and they know it. They cannot afford to drop the ball now. Not now.
Driven back by the pistols. The bomb's got to get picked up and committed, though. It was dropped out towards ramp, so Big aren't out of the woods just yet. Fnatic need to push forward and strike, and there's the kill for Roy.
That's what they needed. Now they're bringing things back. Square Roy playing whack-a-mole, and he's even found all 3. Fnatic not dropping the ball now.
Oh, that was a little bit leery, though. Pistols were brought out, stormed the B site, and it felt like they cracked them. But Fnatic not cracking under the pressure. Beautiful stuff from the last 2 players, and against those pistols, the bomb being dropped in the right place at the right time. Whoever got the kill against that carrier might be credited with the secretive MVP, but it was Roy with the 3K sequence and the perfect headshots on the first 2. Fnatic not losing to the eco pistols, and the cash amounts mean that their damage does not mean much at this stage. The Orb serious and coming forward. The kills on the first player have almost caught the second, but Nikodos ducks and dives out the way.
That's what you want to see, aggressive AWP movement. Nikodos wants some of it himself! Oh, what is this round? We've only been in it for 10 seconds, and that already has been chaotic. Big do lose a player, and so does Fnatic. Importantly enough, they lose their star player, Roy, and Nikodos also dies.
Oh, both the Danes down and out. Big maintain control, get themselves back into it. Searson with that stellar start. Fnatic got caught off guard. Crims might catch another player off guard himself, but Farven just evaded the bullets, evaded the kill shots. Now that they know the CTs are pushed up, they might be able to account for this, but they haven't accounted for Connector, and it's Forest with the kill.
And that was a low payer from Big. Now he's got more of a job to do, but the thing for Big right now is that they know where 2 of these players are. One is on the backside of the B site, and now one is falling towards Connector, knowing that if they do go for that A hit fast, they may have the numbers advantage.
Pushing forward for Tabson. Shugera to get this bomb down. It's only Mezzi standing alone. Backup's going to arrive. And Molotov gets here. Farven with an all-important frag. Big have complete control of A. It's a retake for Fnatic now.
And what utility does Fnatic have? Only a smoke. Now they've been able to recover some more. But Crimson Forest, both together, hand in hand, let's take on this fight. That's Tabson. A brilliant headshot to be found. And Big now on top. clearly on top. Crims, the experienced player, the Swede, trying to make things happen, but he's low. He's so low. And up against 3, it's one fight after the other, one level on top of the other. That's one smoke can be dropped onto the bomb, but Faven, they can just play the slow game. They can just play it safe. The smoke doesn't connect clearly, and Faven is low. Bomb touched. Piastri will go out into the open, but Big are able to recover it. Now they're on map point. Fnatic are hitting themselves for that one.
Crims looks so miffed. So unbelievably miffed at that smoke. It went too deep, and had he had that on point on the bomb, then maybe he could have held the defuse, because the kill, the swing towards long, that was right on there. But in the end, Fnatic don't get it done. Map point for Big, a tactical called in by Big, and appropriately so. Fnatic have done so much catching up. They brought the gap to such a manageable distance that it's still on for overtime here. And Fnatic, I think the money's still good for a buy.
Oh, many have thought the return of God B to kind of being more brilliance and more creativity after venturing onto a different game and now coming back to Counter-Strike. Now with new ideas perhaps to get big, elevating their playstyle. Let's see how that one works out. So far it's been looking grand for them. Their journey has been better than 2022, but this is definitely a land they'd like to have a good result in, and this is one step in that direction.
15-11, Pavlos. And the double orbs are out for Fnatic. Nico Odos and Crims. Nico Odos has been fantastic in this map up. Got no chance to strike in that last round where he set towards mid on this one in a much more passive angle. You can see how Fnatic are giving them the respect here. Not going to die to Searson if he tries to force forward. He's only on a scout this time, so that's not an option. Instead, the onus is towards long.
Double orb setup for Fnatic this time around, which means we could be seeing a more passive approach from them. Searson would have loved to have a big gun of greed himself, but not on this opportunity. Fnatic know there's no more mistakes he can make here. All to work for, all to play for. Wide swing. Oh, Nicolas misses the mark, and Roy has to fall. If it wasn't for the trade, that means Big now are on top.
Early nade as well for Nico Odos. Couldn't do much against Roy's killers. They can work their way in towards that mid control. The anti-flash setup on paper is good, but it means that you have to focus up and get that M4 in particular to a multi-frag in that particular scenario. Didn't do much damage at all. Now they press up into the bathrooms of a divider. Nico Odos setting ready for taps, and the Molotov doesn't throw him that far back. He re-aggresses, doesn't get the kill. Nikodos
does realise one has swung by, so he needs to be capped with the left side angle! Oh, Nikodos gets another, but it's through his teammate's body, and that means his teammate will have to fall as well. Crims and Forest are 2-on-3 to keep Fnatic alive, but the Germans are big, are determined.
Second kill for the smoke, even the standings, and now Crims' orb can strike. A 2-on-2 scenario, and the back number I didn't see it coming, and neither did Big!
And Tabson now with all to play with. 1 round is required, but the pressure is on. Not many seconds remaining, but he will get the bomb down in time to play around the truck area. Gets 1 kill onto Forest, and the smoke is covering Crims' position as well. This could be doable. The 4-piece that could come his way, but he knows where Crims will come from. Oh, and he switches up the position as well. The pressure's on Crims no longer on Tabson, and he's able to wrap around.
Oh, my lord.
Oh, draws out the knife. What can you do?
Crims has no idea.
He's got no clue. And Tabson, all he has to do is pull the trigger in time. And that he will. Big taking things home, and will be taking us to a 3rd map as well.
That is unreal. What a final play for Big, and what a way to recover off the back of Fnatic's comeback. To think they brought it all the way till the very final hurdle, which is where they finally stumbled there, Pavlos. Oh, Fnatic. That's got to hurt so much, but you're right. Big were the ones that were on the back foot coming into this map, and they take us to a 3rd one.
Big elated. They'll be happy about that one, but we'll see what the Des has to say after a short break. Be right back.